We're going to deal with the issue of the Ten-Horn Kingdom, specifically a revived Roman Empire is the topic that we're on.
Mrs. Clinton, when she met with Catherine Ashton, said that this was unbelievable what had happened. It was historic. You know, most people in America never even heard what was going on in the European Union with the Lisbon Treaty being ratified.
So what you have is a move from 27 states of the world that is sort of like a federation, although it's not a true federation, moving to a single country which now encompasses land area almost all of the former Roman Empire. And if we add the neighborhood policy relationships, if you will, between the EU and the Mediterranean states, we are starting to see a Roman Empire form.
A young man by the name of Emil Grafstrup and Jennifer Tomlin, they are dating, have total access to each other's homes, cars, and computers. And they have that access by way of matching electronic microchips that are implanted under their skin.
You can kind of see it just underneath the skin there.
And what are the future applications of this? I mean, I presume it'll be able to do more things than just open your car door or your front door or log onto your computer.
Right now, all airport employees must pass a police and FBI background check soon. Those checks could include something a little more intrusive.
Under discussion, a check of an employee's credit history, search of their bags and property before entering secured areas, and perhaps the most extreme measure, the use of biometric readers for fingerprints and eyes, even possibly a chip implant.
Mexico is taking drastic measures to control illegal immigration across its southern border. Now, Mexico will reportedly use an electronic chip to curb illegal immigration from Guatemala and Belize. The biochip implant will replace the so-called local pass currently being used to enter the country.
Most of the domestic groups that we have to pay attention to here are white supremacist groups. They're anti-government, in most cases anti-abortion. They are usually survivalist type in nature, identity-oriented. Those groups are groups that claim to be extremely anti-government and Christian identity-oriented.
People, I am firmly convinced if revival is ever going to break out across our nation again, we have got to have faithful, loving preachers across our nation, listen, who will love people enough to tell them the whole truth, nothing but the truth, unashamedly God's truth. Because that's how people are set free. That's what Jesus did at the woman of the well. We've got to confront people in their sin so they can be set free of their sin. Oh, that we would have faithful preachers and teachers again who will love their congregations enough to tell them the truth.
Some who are listening even now and will be listening to tapes in the future, you just can't lighten up and enjoy these theologically shallow experiences like so many around you are today. Everyone around you saying, oh, lighten up, lighten up. God's love, God's good, God's kind, God is nice. Come to church in your Bermuda shorts, stick your feet on the altar rail, have a coffee and cookies with us. We'll hear 3-point messages on nothing about God. But there's a stirring in you. There's a stirring in the true bride in this generation. But if the Holy Spirit is truly, truly upon you in this generation, you will not be satisfied. You will not be found among those who sit in supposed houses of God with your feet on the altar rail and a cup of coffee in your hand, listening to a PowerPoint sermon about a Christ they don't know.